Before we get started, I just got to let you know, I just stopped hyperventilating because I've been sitting back trying to figure out, okay, which one? Had to remind myself, Torrence, this is just a video idea. It ain't real life. So I'm going to go ahead and run this intro while I calm down and get back to y'all. I guess on my hair, she look alright. And with that actually sitting there like this creams, and I had to have them, sis. All 5 of them. Here, I just had, we're going to discontinue it, but I had to pick up their book of shadows, honey. Color Grade makes cheap fan, expensive breeze, good times. Why so serious? What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Torrence here, and in today's video I wanted to tell you which items I would repurchase if all the items in my makeup collection just magically disappeared. But to make things a little more difficult on myself, I decided, Torrence, you have to pick things that are full-time and available right now. If your favorite is something that was limited edition but you can't go to the website and purchase it again, you can't pick it. And by putting that extra little layer of difficulty on it, honey, I was stressed out trying to figure this stuff out. I'm going through my collection like, no, I love you. I got to keep you. I got to have you. So I'm telling y'all, this is going to be an unedited video. We're going to go ahead and just get through it. To make sure we save ourselves on time, I'm going to make sure I rush through it because there's a few things I want to go ahead and get into. But first off, it wasn't right to have to pick like this. The hardest one to choose was the eyeshadow palette, so I'm gonna leave that for last. But let's go ahead because some of these items were very easy, and we're gonna start with the order I'm gonna say that I do my makeup in off camera, not on camera. So off camera, what I would normally start off with is primer. As somebody who has extremely oily skin, I normally would go in with my Becca Evermatte, but we all know Becca done went down. And so far, I haven't heard anything about them having the Becca Evermatte available on, what is that, Smashbox. I believe they have the eye primers, they have the blushes and things like that. So I'm like, even though I would have normally kept this, she can't be repurchased, so I got to pick something else. And I'm like, Torrence, for primer, you want something that's A, reliable, and B, affordable, because I run through primer faster than any other item in my makeup collection. Primer is always number one to go. So I'm going to keep it cheap and go with my Maybelline Master Prime and Blur and Smooth 100. Absolutely love her. When I'm having really dry skin days, like because I'm taking Retin-A, I can use their Dewy and Smooth one. But this is my all-time favorite. I think the only ones that have competed with this over the years was a discontinued Urban Decay one, as well as my Clinique one. But because I know I can get this for less than $10, and that Clinique one is like somewhere up there close to $30, we would start off with this. Baby, she reliable, she don't cause acne breakouts. I can get her at Walmart, Ulta, get her on a discount, so I love her. And I'm sitting back like, okay, Torrence, you went affordable with your primer. Can you do the same thing with foundation? Normally I would, but if you're only gonna leave me with one foundation for life, honey, it's gonna be the one I've worn more than any other one. My Nars Sheer Glow. I absolutely love this foundation. I'm wearing Medium Dark 2 Tahoe. The only problem I have with this foundation is when you first buy it, it does not come with a pump. I understand we live in a day and age where most people expect it. Nars don't give it to us, but that don't stop nothing, honey. I would repurchase the foundation and the pump with no issues. This is my all-time favorite foundation. I like it. I'm wearing it right now. It tends to give me, I would say I pack it on till full coverage. If you want medium coverage, you can get it. It's called Sheer Glow because it provides a sheer amount of glow. I don't want you going in thinking this is going to be a nice dewy foundation. It's more to the matte side. I have oily skin, so I absolutely love her. Favorite combo to go with her for concealer? My Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer. I love her because she's full coverage. She's called Radiant Creamy, but once again, I believe this is for those people who have oily skin. She'll give you a radiant effect. If you're somebody who has dry skin, she might not be your favorite. I also love that, what is this? The Too Faced Born This Way one. That one gives you much more of a glow, but to me, She not as matte, she not as full coverage. So these two here, my favorites. I'm normally wearing the shade Praline. I believe this is medium 2. I'll leave everything in the description bar below. But I'm telling you, I usually don't have to get a concealer in my foundation shade because my foundation is so full coverage. I only buy my concealers for highlighting use. So this is the one I'm wearing underneath the eyes right now. She fabulous. And if you told me I could only keep one for life, these two with that primer, so far I ain't upset at all. I would just keep on going like, okay. Where issues would come in at is you telling me I can only keep one powder, because I'm sitting back like, but I love to bake. And not only do I love to bake, I love to mix powders when I bake, because I tend to find that companies either provide a texture I love or a color I love. It's extremely rare that I can find everything in one. But if you're going to force me to pick just one, as of today, we're going to go with our Sasha Buttercup Light Powder. I know everybody, this brand was put on the map, I believe, by Jaclyn when she used the original Sasha Buttercup. That's way too dark, way too yellow for me. They came out with this Buttercup Light, and to me, this is my version of a banana powder. I absolutely love mixing this with the Midnight Colorless Powder. The thing is, I love the texture of that Midnight powder, but their version of banana ain't my version. Theirs is, and although I think this would be a little too pigmented for me, I would be able to make it work. So if you only gonna leave me with one powder, Sasha Buttercup. After powder, I'm the type of person who would normally go straight to contour, but because you only leaving me one item, I'm jumping straight to bronzer. And with bronzers, that's where the issues come in at, because when I think of my all-time favorite bronzers, they've been discontinued or the formula been changed. The first bronzer I ever went pan on, and I was shocked to do it, so I kept it, Too Faced Dark Chocolate Soleil Bronzer. They didn't change the formula on this, they didn't change the pan on this, but I didn't have her all these years, and you see how much I baby pan was nothing. I was swirling my brush. I refuse to get rid of this because I ain't found a formula quite like it since. This is just your basic matte pressed powder bronzer. I love the compact, I love the color, I love the blend. And when they reformulated, it was like, but she not the same though. So I can't use her because I can't repurchase her. Nars Casino and their, which one was this? This was their Baked Gelée formula. I can't remember exactly what it's called. Look at that. Another bronzer where I went pan. Back in the day, I used to love my bronzers. But a lot of times my foundation or my powder was too light, so I needed something to warm my skin up. Today, you see, I ain't got no bronzer on. My skin look nice and warm, honey. Look at that compared to that hand. We good. But they discontinued this formula, and the thing was, if I would have known they were going to do that, I promise you I would have bought a backup of this, because it takes everything not to go ahead and just use that other side. You can see the grid underneath there, but I keep telling myself, Torrence, it's going to be that one summer where you just want to step out and just step on their necks, and I'm going to keep these two hitting in the cut for that. So, because I can't use those bronzers, what we're going to go ahead and do is use the traditional matte bronzer by Nars and use the Casino one. This is their regular press one. And although she cute, I do have some pan in there. You can see that little mark right there. I do have pan. The thing is, I personally felt as if this bronzer here, even though it's called Casino, I really felt as if this one was a little dark and it had gold reflective particles. And every day I wasn't really going for that sheen. So I personally think I could find a better bronzer in my collection, but if I had to stick with one that I could repurchase, Nars Casino would be it. Alright, next up, contour after bronzer. No competition. The only one I really use on myself on a regular basis. I have several of them sitting right here. I even have it right here in the cream version that ain't been touched. But if you only gonna give me one powder bronzer, the Kvd Bronzer, one contour, see, I'm talking about bronzers. The one contour that I'm going to keep is the Kvd one in Subconscious. Look at the pan on that bad boy. I love her, I use her, and her looking like this don't stop nothing. I will still take and press it around the edges to contour my nose, because you see she is snatched today. I will still take my big brush and press my brush all the way around several times just to go ahead and sculpt these cheekbones out, baby, get that forehead contoured. I love this powder. And when I really thought they were going to get rid of these, I went and bought several backups because I refuse to be out of them. I don't believe that they discontinued. What I think they did was came out with individuals. You used to only be able to buy this in a 6-pan palette. I will buy that whole palette, run out of this one shade because it was the one shade I was using, and buy a whole nother one. So when they came out with individuals, it saved me money and time. I keep it right here in this little Z palette just because I always want her near me. But as far as contour powders, honey, I ain't met one like her. I ain't mad that I have. And if you leave me with this for life, no issues, because as of right now, seem to be the only one I use in my life. Next up is highlighter. Now with highlighters, honey, that's going to be a hard one because I'm like, it's a lot of formulas I love. It's a lot of formulas I love. But when I sit back and I think of Torrence, you just need that one color that you can use every day. It's going to be easy because the one that I can't choose, this one here, where'd she go? My Dose of Color Fuego, they don't sell her no more, so I can't even use her. She one of my favorites. You can see the dip that I got in that bad boy, but she discontinued. So my favorite, most used highlighter of all time, Oh Darling by MAC. The Extra Dimension Skin Finish formula is one of my all-time favorites. It's my favorite formula for MAC. I don't care if they do a blush. I don't care if they do a bronzer, highlight, the eyeshadow. The Extra Dimension Skin Finish formula is absolutely beautiful. And I remember once upon a time, I don't even think you could always get Oh Darling. I remember it was limited edition, but once she became permanent, every single year I would buy another one. Every single year I would buy another one and would never even hit pan on the first one. I've had this one about a good 2-3 years and haven't hit pan, but you can see how much of her gone. But I've gotten over that buying it every year. But if you told me, Torrence, this is the only one you could have for life, I would be satisfied with this one, but I would still be mad that I ain't got no dual chromes in my collection. But that's besides the point. Next up, because I've already talked about baking powders, I want to talk about a setting powder because I do use those as different things. What I use to go ahead and set my concealer and everything never gives me the final finish I want. Although I love to bake and I love to use mattifying products, in the end I do like a glow, which is why I wear a highlighter. And to help accentuate that glow all over the face, I love a shimmery finishing powder. My favorite one so far is a pressed one because I haven't found a loose one that truly gets the job done like this. Usually loose ones are, they're a little more difficult to work with and keep contained. So my favorite so far is the Lord Mercier Candle Glow Sheer Perfecting Powder. This one here is in the shade 3. This is the one that matches my skin tone the most. This is the one I have all over my face, as well as to help contour my nose. The only place I don't have it is right here underneath the eyes. I have shade 2 on the cheeks and shade 1 right on the bare tips underneath my eyes. But shade 3 is the one I wear all over the face. And if you told me I could only have one, I would take this one because I could always, just add a little less to the under eye area or just skip having this bright under eye. But I need that glow all over. I need my skin to look warm. I need it to look smooth. I need it to look dewy. Even if I'm wearing all matte products, nobody does it like Laura Mercier. The only thing I would change about these powders is I personally wish they would give me like 2-3 shades lighter than what they have and about 4 or 5 shades darker than what they get. But this powder here, she my favorite. Next up, what are we going to look at, honey? Oh, might as well just keep easing on over. Finishing sprays. Wait, what do I have? Yeah, my finishing spray. The thing is, with all of that powder, all that sitting on the face, you're going to look dry and crusty. So you need something to help melt all of that into the skin. And normally, the brand stays the same, but I love a limited edition scent. I'm not going to lie to y'all, honey. The one I use every day is this bottle here. The scent is coconut, but I love this bottle of the MAC Fix Plus. So if I had to repurchase it, I would not get the coconut just because it is scented and it's not in a pretty little bottle. If I'm going to have to get a basic bottle, I'm going to get a basic scent. So for finishing sprays, we would just get the original MAC Fix Plus. All I need something at the end of the day is to go ahead, melt all that powder into my skin, have everything looking beautiful, looking, you know, like it's my skin, honey. Well, we know I can't convince nobody that's my skin, but you know, everything looked seamless, everything looked flowed together, and without setting everything first, baby, I would look thick, I would look cakey, I would look dry, and we can't have that. The problem is, that helps reduce the dryness. It don't help it last all day. So for setting spray, something I need you to come in, last all day, lock it in place, make sure she don't move, you already know. All-nighter so she lasts all day. I say it every time I spray it. I love this stuff. I remember when I first got into makeup, I was using the Scandinavia because I heard they were, you know, the ones to do. The thing is, Scandinavia was only available online. All Night it was available in Ulta and sometimes at half price. Guess which one I chose? Although this ain't that wedding one where, trust me, if you do somebody's makeup for their wedding, get that bridal spray from Urban Decay. But because I'm not crying on a regular basis, I'm not really worried about all that transfer stuff. This one here, she'll get me going. For eyebrows, it's only 2 eyebrow pencils that can compete. The first one was going to be Fenty Beauty, and I was going to choose her, but then I had to remind myself, put a little respect on the stuff that you've been using for your whole, you know, career in makeup. Don't just try to come in and pick new stuff just because that's what you've been using lately. So, because I know exactly what she like under all times of the year, no matter if I'm on Retin-A or not, I've never tested out my Fenty Beauty one while I was on like full-blown Retin-A, having peeling conditions and stuff like that. So I don't know if she'll hold during that. But I know my Anastasia Brow is, she will. She's lasted at drunk nights at the club. She'd have lasted hot in the summer. She'd have lasted dry in the winter when I was peeling. And the same thing for her clear brow gel. They just a duo that is just made in heaven. My Fenty Beauty one is fabulous. She lasted during skydiving. If you want to see my skydiving video, I'll leave that link right here. The thing is, once again, I've never tried her out while I was using Retin-A and peeling, so I don't know if she'll last through that. These I do. Since we already on the eyes, we're going to work our way down. Eyeshadow primer. Ain't got to ask me. I know which one I'm going to choose. Soft Ochre Paint Pot by MAC. Honey, I have the paint pots in at least, I'm going to say 7 different colors. Even though Soft Ochre is mine. Nice pale yellow just to get things going. I used to be the type of person who liked a white eye primer until I realized having white right there underneath the brows ain't cute. It helped the eyeshadows pop, but I always had to go in and use something else right underneath the brow. So I'm like, Torrence, skip all of that. Use this one. If this don't get a shadow to pop on my eyes, it's because the shadow just can't pop on my eyes. She has a waxy base. I have hooded eyes, so it helps the oils from breaking through. It helps my shadow last longer. I love her. I usually don't use cream products, but as long as MAC makes this, I'm going to forever be a customer. Next up, baby, for the eyes, my favorite eyeshadow primer. Not eyeshadow primer, my favorite mascara primer and mascara. These two from the same company. They're not the ABH duo, but they are a duo made in heaven, honey. And they are both from Lancome. For mascara primer, the Lancome Seals Booster XL. I love her. I absolutely love her. I think the only lash primer I've ever tried that competes with this one is the Chanel one. And when you hear that name, you instantly go, wait, who trying to buy a Chanel primer? It was given to me as a gift, and I absolutely loved her. But when I realized I can catch this on sale during the Ulta 21 the 21 Ulta Days of Beauty, or I could pay full price for Chanel, it's like, Lancome, Favorite mascara, I got a sample right here. I got a full size as a backup. The Monster Big, the original. You can't tell me nothing about her. You can't tell me nothing about this mascara. Even at the $25 full price, I am willing to buy her, but 9 times out of 10, I'm going to get her in a set where I either get buy one, get one free, or buy a full size, get a mini free. I absolutely love them. I think the only mascara I'm looking around that competes with this on how many times I've actually repurchased it would be the Essence Lash Princess. But if I'm being real with myself, although that Essence is amazing and that $5 and buy one get one free or buy one get one half off, she is top notch. But she ain't quite what this one is. And even though she 5 times the price, if I can only be stuck with one, I'm trying to get the best that I can, and I believe Lancome is going to be it. Got to have her. For eyeliners, honey, this was the one that was probably a difficult choice as well because I kept telling myself, Torrence, we know what formula we going to get. Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil. They're my favorites. They're my largest collection. But I'm like, do you go with brown or do you go with black? And then I just came to it and I'm like, you know what, Torrence? Go bold or go home. So we're going to keep the perversion. I'm wearing it right now on my lashes. And every time I wear this eyeliner, it truly reminds me of why I love it so much. I have liners from different companies, different colors, and even from Urban Decay where I put it on the eye and I went, wait, okay, is my eyes watering? What's going on? And it's giving me issues. With this, it's never any issues. I've even had one that I knew was expired because it had separated from the wood. Even when I grinded it down, it was just, it looked dry in the tube. But once I put it to the eye, pigmented, creamy, lasts all day. I can't say no bad things about this. Although she retails for $22, you can usually catch her half off for $11. I believe even right now they have a half off sale for right now it's Veterans Day when I'm recording this. I believe that's also considered Singles Day right now because it's $11.11. At half price, she truly worth it. But at full price, I don't mind paying for her. Next up for lips. Lips was a hard one to do because I'm like, I have so many things that I love from lips, but some things don't have no competition. First off, lipstick. I'm not going to say I don't care about lipstick. It's just, I'm a liner and gloss person like I'm wearing right now. So if for any reason I had to keep a lipstick, instead of worrying about keeping one that I just like or love because most of the ones I love have been discontinued, I'm going to pick one that just brings me sentimental reasons. My favorite lipstick formula is the Nars Audacious lipstick. The thing is, my favorite color is the color Vanessa. My very first niece's name was Vanessa, and I have bought this and repurchased it every time it's gone bad just to have it in my collection. She's a nice, just neutral pink shade that I can wear any and every day of the year. And because I believe my niece is beautiful, I believe this formula is beautiful, this color is universal and flattering as long as you have a liner. I usually don't wear lip products without one. So just to be able to have happy memories whenever I look at a lipstick, because if I were to pick something else, I really wouldn't care about it. But having this just puts a smile on my face. So we're going to say, hey Vanessa, we're going to keep this for you as our lipstick. For lip liners, normally I just need something to give me more depth and dimension. So I'm like, Torrence, which one we going to pick? I know for sure all I need is a dark brown. The only 3 companies that could truly compete for me when it comes to lip liners, Juvia's Place, MAC Cosmetics, and the one I chose, my Lip Bar Straight Living Lip Liner. They call it the Lip Bar for a reason, honey, because they know what they're doing with lip products. But this dark brown and Straight Living, she fabulous. She fabulous. I think this may be the darkest brown lip liner I have besides Chestnut by MAC. But I find this just to be a little creamier and it blends a little bit better. She's one that you sharpen because I do not like those pencils. Excuse me. Baby, these hiccups and these bursts is bothering me today. But when it comes to pencils, I do not like screw up tops because I feel as if they dry out faster. I like the ones that you can sharpen. This one here, she fabulous. So with that Vanessa liner, I'm like, okay, Torrence, what's left for lips? Gloss. it's only 2 glosses that I had to really worry about. But then I had to sit back and think about it. Like, Torrence, with the Pat McGrath Lust Gloss formula, you like that bronze temptation. Take that away from the line, you really wouldn't care. But when I think of one company that's come out with lip glosses and I've loved every single shade, Fenty Beauty. My Fenty Glow, she fabulous. I've purchased every single Fenty gloss that they've come out with except those 4 heat colors. I don't do plump and burn and stinging itching sensations on the lips. No ma'am, I don't like that. But this Fenty Glow in the original, I got one right here. I got one in my bag. I know I got one up there on the shelf. I know I got one in the closet as a backup. I can never have enough of these. You can't tell me nothing about that Rihanna Gloss formula. I sit back and think about blush. It was an easy pick as well. I love blush. Before I got into eyeshadows, blush was my way of playing with color. And the blush I've worn the most over the years, Juvia's Place Serafina. Juvia's Place is always coming out with blush palettes and blush duos and things like that. And I believe they've only come out with 2 singles. This one here is what I call my version of Nars Orgasm. Because Nars Orgasm don't work for me. She too light. But this little peachy pink, I remember knowing I love the formula of Juvia's Place eyeshadows. But once I started using this, I know it was once upon a time where I used this every single day for about 6-7 months. I didn't look at another blush. I wasn't worried about another blush. This was my girl, and you can never take her away from me. You could never take her away from me. I got to have her. But now that I see I only got a few minutes left, I'm sitting back thinking like, okay, Torrence, this is what caused me to hyperventilate. Trying to figure out what is the one eyeshadow, Torrence, you would keep for life. And at one point I just said, you know what, we're not going to even pick one. I'd rather just give eyeshadow up. Because my favorite eyeshadow color is greens. I love greens. Right behind greens is blacks because I like to accentuate them. After that, then we can get to the neutrals. But on an everyday basis, neutrals are much more professional. They're much more flattering. And I don't care. I need my greens, but I'm like, Torrence, the idea of only having greens, I couldn't do it. So I'm sitting back, I'm like, all right, Torrence. My favorite eyeshadow palette of all time, Viseart Grande Pro 3. I love her, but when I think about the fact that one, I don't think she's available for purchase right now. I believe they did discontinue her. And she's all matte, sis. So it's like, what about my lids? Where am I gonna get my little shimmery sparkle and all? Could I put my highlighter on my eyes? Yes. But where's my green glow, sis? I want a green matte and a green shimmer. I want a brown matte and a brown shimmer. So I couldn't pick her. And my feelings is just sitting here because I'm like, she my favorite dog. Another one I couldn't get, Melt Gemini. She give me my neutrals. She give me my black. She give me my green. She give me mattes and shimmers. But she been discontinued. So, because I could not find anything that was going to satisfy my needs, I'm going to show y'all this one, but I would have to get the new reformulated one. If I could only keep one palette, it would be the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. Now, I don't know what that new formula is like. I don't. But when I look at this color story here, and I tell myself, Torrence, do a neutral look for every day. I see it there. Do a green look, which is your favorites. I see bright, vivid greens and dark, grungy greens. Matte and shimmer. Do a brown smoky eye. I can do that. I even got pop of purple and pop of blue. Oh, that's on the other side there. I got pinks, I got browns, I got reds. Seems like I got everything I need. If the colors aren't exactly the same, it won't matter because it'll be the only one I have. But with this being the end of this video, honey, I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. I hope you all truly did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Also, leave me a comment down below if you all agree with me on any of these products. If you didn't, let me know which ones they were and what items you would pick. I see that my camera ain't got but a few seconds left to go ahead and cut off. So with nothing else, I hope you all remember to practice, continue to stay blessed, and until next time, goodbye YouTube.